Hey everybody, it's Tej from SeriousGas.com, and welcome again today as we continue how to learn guitar for beginners. You're just starting out. I get it. There's a lot you still don't know, but you're online, you're watching YouTube videos, you are traveling to faraway exotic islands of tone and sound and song, just trying to get this thing down. I get it. So we're going to help you do that. Today though, we're going to go into a new area that I haven't mentioned yet, actually a few things you should know right off the bat. First thing, your open strings. Do you have them memorized yet? You absolutely should. E, A, D, G, B, E. Now I'm playing a 12 string today. That means I got 6 more than probably you do, but that's all right. It's still the same. Your open strings on the guitar will always be that way, unless you're going to get way whacked and play in an alternate tuning like I do often. So those are the open strings, but how are we going to remember them? Well, there are certain acronyms that will help you with that. One of them I got from my guitar teacher in LA, Mr. Rick Azum, and he told me Elvis ate drugs, goodbye Elvis. All right, so if that works for you, short, sweet, simple, to the point. I've used it many times in those first years with my lessons with Rick. I've come up with others in the years ensuing to give to my students, all kinds of word pictures and funny little things. Here are some of them. Enough artistic discipline guarantees brilliant expression. Okay? And that's all about practicing. And for the young kids, we've got a fun one, because you know they always like animals. Every aardvark digs grubs before eating. Or other various insects. Now, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, anybody? I certainly am, Lord of the Rings fan, and this one I came up with after those brilliant movies by Peter Jackson. Extending Aragorn's defense, Gandalf battles evil. Yeah, you know you love it. Now here's one for all you healthy eaters like myself, vegetarian. You can give this to all your friends who play guitar who are also vegetarians. Eating avocados delivers great body energy. And of course that's very true. Avocados, full of energy, protein, all sorts of good things. Finally, this is another one that talks about how you need to practice. End all dumb garage band excuses. That's right. Don't be stuck as a garage band for the rest of your life. Practice, get better, and you'll play the stages of the world. Not in your garage, to nobody. Except maybe the 3 other bandmates you have. Alright, so now I'm going to give you something special. We talked about the need to understand the chords of a key. And if you haven't read my other posts on this, you very much need to before you listen to this, because it gives you a firm foundation of how to understand all this. So go check that out, watch those videos, read those things, and then come back to this, all right? Because you'll get it then, and I want you to get it. All right. So what I've done is I've written a song in the key of C. It's called This Is How It Sounds. It's a short little ditty, and it's going to help you hear what it sounds like when you use all 7 chords that are the right chords for a key. The 7 right chords are called the diatonic chords. Diatonic. It just means they're the right chords, the 7 right chords for any given key. If we're in the key of C, there are 7 specific chords that are the right ones. They'll always sound right, they'll always make you feel right, and more importantly, they'll always make your listeners feel really good, okay? Because they'll never go over a speed bump in sound and go, what was that chord? All right? They'll always sound right. So, short, simple, to the point. First, it starts with a 1-4-5 progression. Those are the majors. Again, refer to my posts and you'll understand all this. We'll go through the 1-4-5 majors up front, then we'll go into the 3 regular minor chords, and finally, right before we come back to the chorus, we'll throw in the 7 diminished, which is a type of minor, but with a little added twist. Okay? Let's rock these chords in C. This is how it sounds. This is how it sounds. Play 1-5. 7 chord. We call it diminished. And that is how it sounds. That is how it sounds to play all 7 chords in the key of C. That is how it sounds. That is how it sounds to play all 7 chords in the key of C. We call them diatonic. Yes, we call them diatonic. All right, did you follow along with understanding? I hope so. If you didn't, keep revisiting it, watching it over and over, and you'll get it eventually. Also, make sure that you read those posts and all of the fundamental music theory that I posted before this so that you can really comprehend what I'm talking about. The links are below this video. The diatonic chord map, also in C, naming all the chords that I used in this song, is also in that link. So there you have it, all 7 chords that are the right chords, the diatonic chords in the key of C, used in one song. So you can now know the key of C. Use any of those 7 chords and you will have a song in the key of C and it'll always sound right. The one that sounds the weirdest is the diminished chord. Most people use that sparingly, if at all. Honestly, these days, you can probably listen to the radio the whole day and not come across a diminished chord, honestly. But go Paul Simon. He was always a great artist who used diminished chords in such creative and wonderfully sounding ways. All right, so let's move on now that we've done that. If you want to move past the key of C and into other keys, which you should if you're a musician, then you have to have some more foundation laid. So today we're going to talk about something we haven't gone into yet, and that is the chromatic scale. Now the chromatic scale is, in a nutshell, every note we use in Western music. Now they have other scales in India and China. They have other notes, more than we do. We only have 12 total notes. And when we play in a certain key, we only use 7. Specific 7. But there's 12 total. You look at a piano, all those keys, it's only 12 notes. Just played over and over again. Once you reach the end, you start over again. Repeat, repeat, repeat. What are the 12 notes? You got to have this memorized. And it's easy. This is not hard. Just go over it for a few days, and after a week, you'll probably have this no problem, all right? You just got to keep returning to it. Like my dog Pippin to his bowl. After I've fed him, he still thinks there's going to be more there. So it starts like this. Let's go to our A string, because now that we know our open strings, E, A, okay, this is our A string. I'm going to take you from the open string, which is A, all the way up to the 12th fret, which is also A. The 12th fret is where we start repeating everything. The 12th fret. Remember I said how many notes do we have total in music? 12. That's why at the 12th fret it starts repeating. All right, so let's do this. Open is A. First fret is A sharp. Sharp means it's higher, going up. But we can also call that B flat. Why? Because this is A, open. Our second fret is B, A, B, A, B. Well, what's in between A and B? This note. We can either call it A sharp, or we can call it B flat, because flat means go down, or it's lower. So the black keys on a piano, those are all sharp and flat notes. In the key of C, there are no sharp and flat notes, and that's why it's the easiest key to write in. But we're venturing beyond now. We are boldly going where musicians have gone before, but maybe you haven't. So let's go. Starting with A. A sharp or B flat. B. Our third fret is C. There are two places where between the letters there are no sharps and flats, and this is one of them. Between B and C, there are no sharps or flats. We go from B straight to C. Okay? This is one of the areas to remember. Starting over. A sharp or B flat. B, C. Now we go back to the sharps or flats. C sharp or D flat. D, D sharp or E flat. E, and here is the second spot where there are no sharps or flats. From E, we go straight to the next letter of the alphabet, F. From E to F. So we have two places. From B to C, there are no sharps or flats. From E to F, there are no sharps and flats. Let's continue. F sharp or G flat. G, G sharp or A flat. Because we only have in our musical vocabulary A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So once you get past G, you have to start over again with A. That's why when you reach G sharp, you don't say H flat or H. There is no H unless you're in Germany, and then I understand. You Germans, you got some H's over there, I've seen it. But here in America, at least, we go from G to A. So this G sharp is also called A flat. G sharp or A flat. And finally we reach the 12th fret. It's A again. Just like open. Why? Because we've gone through every note in our musical alphabet, A to A. And from here, it just repeats. A sharp or B flat, B, right? It just keeps going until you fall in the hole. Ah! All right, let's do it again. Let's start with our open A and go all the way up to the 12th fret. You do it with me, say it with me, and after you watch this a few times, just keep going over it, and then throughout the day, if you're standing in line at Chipotle, I don't know, whatever, where do you like to eat? I like to eat at this great vegetarian Indian place down the street. When you're standing in line, go over it in your head. A sharp, B flat, B, C, right? All right, one more time from the bottom, the open A. Here we go. A sharp or B flat, B, C, no sharps or flats between there. C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E, F, this is the other place, no sharps or flats between E and F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, A. And we're back where we started. Now what I want you to do is take each of your strings and be able to do this with no notes. Remember what your open strings are, and for each one of them, start with that open string and go up each fret, naming it according to the chromatic scale. For example, here's E, right? So we'll start with E. What's the first fret going to be after E? What comes after E in the chromatic scale? Is it E sharp? Actually, you can find that in certain musics, but the chromatic scale states it just goes from E to F, right? There are some cases, weird cases, where we would call the F an E sharp, but they're so rare, don't even worry about it. All you need to know is like what the chromatic scale says. E, F, F sharp or G flat, G. Continue all the way up to the 12th fret. Do it with every string. Have it memorized, both your open strings and the chromatic scale. If you do, it will become so powerful. As a musician, you will be a lot more understanding of every song you play. And more importantly, you can look at each song and within a minute be able to discern how it was written, the key it was written in, the numbers of the chords, and you can do like what they do in Nashville using the number system, where instead of saying D sharp or F flat or all these other things, you'll just be writing 1, 6, 3, because you analyzed it according to the diatonic chord mapping. And again, if you didn't get the diatonic chord mapping, you need to go read that. Down below this video, there are links to these posts. You have to get those first because we're building, right? We're laying a foundation and then putting bricks on top of it. If you don't get a big part of the foundation over here, what's the house going to do? You know what it's going to do. It's going to crumble, all right? Okay, so memorize all that stuff, and I guess we'll see you next time. I've got some things in my mind brewing about what we can cover next time. Probably some more keys. Today we did C, so I think we'll continue later with helping you understand how to venture forth into other keys like a ship on the clear seas of the Caribbean. It's going to be a lot of fun. So this is Teach from Serious Gas. Thanks for stopping by our channel here, and keep taking these lessons. Keep striving to understand, to grow. Get the guitar out of the case, in your hands, under your fingertips. Carve out some time in your schedule to be with this good friend, and it'll give you awesome memories, songs, and music for years to come. Now go make sounds.